What is going on, Poké fans? Welcome back to Path to the Peak. In today's video, we'll be looking at Rapid Strike Malamar deck. So, what's so special about Rapid Strike Malamar at this moment? Well, probably the fact that you can use it Rapid Strike Tentacles and hit for 40 times the amount of Rapid Strike cards you revealed from your hand. When you reveal them, you need to shuffle those cards back into your deck. So, theoretically speaking, with only 6 rapid cards revealed, you can hit for 240, 7 to 80, 8, 320. Malamar has resistance minus 30 to Rapid Strike Reshifu, which is good. As long as the Malamar is in the active spot, Rapid Strike won't be able to one-hit knock it out with the second attack, which is big plus. As well as the fact that it can go for the weakness against Reshifu. Worst matchups are probably going to be, in my opinion, decks that can use Intellions heavily, and the decks that can survive not being one-hit knocked out by the Malamar. But overall, if you manage to set up properly and fast enough, you're not going to have too many problems knocking out anything what your opponent puts in front of you. So deck plays pretty much 20 Pokemons, 3 of each Minccino and Cinccino for that make do ability where you can discard card from your hand and draw 2 cards. It also plays 4/4 line of the Inkay and Malamar, and additionally plays 3 copies of Remoraid and Octillery for that Rapid Strike search, which allows you to search your deck for any Rapid Strike card once per turn, so you cannot use more than 1 Rapid Strike search, otherwise the card would be way too broken. Moving on to some other cards that this deck plays. For the search and setup, it plays 3 copies of Evolution Incense, as well as 4 copies of Level Ball, 3 copies of Great Ball, and 4 copies of Fog Crystal that can helps us to search the deck and get either way Psychic Basic Energy or a Basic Psychic Pokemon. So 4/4 line of Fog Crystal Level Ball and 3/3 line of Evolution Incense and the Great Ball. The reason for that is the fact that I decided to tech also 2 copies of Fan of Waves. I know that this probably will break a little bit the consistency of the deck, but since a lot of Rapid Strike decks are floating around, I think that Fan of Waves can potentially help us to disrupt our opponent a little bit by disrupting those special energies from them. But otherwise, you can simply just remove the 2 Fan of Waves and add either way 1 extra Evolution Incense and 1 Great Ball as well. Speaking about cards that can help us to restore Pokemon's energies or supporter cards, I'm playing 1 Ordinary Rod, 1 Pal Pad, as well as 2 Rescue Carriers. I think that the Rescue Carrier is a very good add-on in this deck. Additionally, I also playing 2 copies of Scoop Up Net, because with the Scoop Up Net we can always pick the Octillery, and then we have immediately 80 damage available in our hand, because when we put Octillery in our hand, we are also putting Remoraid, 2 copies of Tower of Waters, so we can have free retreat with those Rapid Strike Pokemons. The worst thing it's gonna be when we start with those Mincinos in the front, but we can always scoop up net them. Then I'm playing 4 Korrina Focus, 4 Bruno, as well as 1 Boss's Orders. 1 Lucky Egg is here as well in this deck, just in case in the late game Lucky Egg can be specifically good, and 2 copies of Spiral and Psychic Energy cards. So this is the deck list that I'm going to use in today's video. If you already didn't, please consider subscribing to the channel for more videos. And don't forget to hit that like button and the notification bell as well. Maybe you're gonna need some cards either way for your collection or for the deck. You can also check ccgcastle.com. The link is provided in my video description as well, because why not? You know, it's a very good online store selling Pokemon cards with probably the best prices in the market. In some cases, either way, prices are similar or lower than TCG players, so you should definitely check that out. Okay, so with this introduction to the video, let's do some game tests and see how this deck works in action, so see you in the game. Alright, so let's see what we can expect from a Malamar deck. In theory, Malamar can one-hit knock out whatever opponent plays. and as long as you have enough Rapid Strike cards available in your hand, you're good to go. So 2 Cinccinos, 2 Malamar, Evolution Incense, as well as a Level Ball with the Spiral Energy. None of these cards are unfortunately playable, so I'm gonna need to refresh my hand, draw fresh 7 new cards, and hope to find at least 2 basic Pokemons, potentially a Minccino, one of them, and Level Ball and Energy, something like that. And Supporter would be nice as well. So while we are waiting our opponent to set up, we can refresh the hand. Okay, this looks quite better. This hand actually looks gorgeous. So I have Minccino, I have a Great Ball, I have a Fog Crystal, so I can search the deck for another Inkay. That hand looks good. That hand looks good. Unfortunately, I can't one-hit knockout turn 1 anything, so only turn 2 I can start to attack. But in theory, Zacian matchup should be a favorable matchup in this case. So let's go with that Fog Crystal for a Inkay. Let's see what we can pick up with this Great Ball. So just another Remoraid, just in case if he knocks out my Remoraid, I can have another out here. And other than that, I will just pass the turn. Not gonna waste the Fog Crystal, because with the Fog Crystal I can just, you know, try to search the deck next turn for energy. In case if I search the deck for the energy with the Fog Crystal right now, and if he had boss's orders, he could simply knock my Inkay out. So that's the reason why I actually didn't want to waste it. And on the other side, if he have Marnie, he can also just put it on the bottom of my deck, but that really doesn't matter, because then I can just draw it later in the game. So no boss's orders means that the Brave Blade will be enough, more than enough for the knockout against Inkay, more than 4 times enough for the knockout. And Bruno would be nice as a top deck, or at least Octillery. Okay, so I will grab that Inkay into my hands so I can bench it down, and I will then go with Octillery and with the Fog Crystal so I can search the deck for a basic Psychic Energy card, and additionally I will use a Rapid Strike Search for the... So 4 Brunos priced? Are you freaking kidding me? Oh no. Bruno is a single strike. Okay, never mind. I didn't say that. Korrina for 6. That looks a bit better, I guess. We have that Malamar, but in addition to that Malamar, I'm gonna need much more resources. So let's see first we can draw with a Make Do. 1, 2, 3. That's 120, 160, 200. So theoretically I can hit for like 200. I don't need to hit for 200. Even 120 is more than enough. Is more than enough damage. I really needed another Minccino for the bench. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it. I mean, having option to have 2 Octilleries in play is not bad as well. Just in case if your opponent managed to find a way to knock the Octillery out, so you can always have another Octillery, because Octillery provides you with Korrina's Focus, which is a supporter card that allows you to search the deck, to draw cards from the deck until you have 6 in your hand, which is good. Okay, Tower of Waters, Scoop Up Net, Crystal Cave, so here a little bit of damage can be healed. 3 energies for that Zamazenta. and this will be a knockout. Okay. Let me first go with that Ordinary Rod. So I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna shuffle back that energy, which I will then pick up with my Fog Crystal. Then I'm gonna use a Rapid Strike Surge and get myself a Korrina's Focus. I can draw 3 more cards. There is a Malamar as well as Minccino. If I pick up Octillery, then I will have 4, and additionally I will need 2 more. Damn it, again I don't have enough for the knockout. An even scarier thing is that I don't even have Malamar for the next turn. So I'm forced to retreat and pass the turn. Such a bricky hand, and 30 more damage has been hailed from the Zacian. As long as he don't have boss's orders, I'm okay, but the moment he plays boss's orders, I'm in a deep trouble. And a Soul Tackle, luckily. Okay, so right now I still have a chance to win, but this turn I must take a knockout, otherwise I'm gonna lose the game, that's for sure. So let's go with this Bruno for 7. Okay, so I do have that Fog Crystal for Inkay, which I shouldn't play. Let's see what we can get with the Make Do, the first one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 160. 160, 200. So I can play safely. And I can just go for a knockout here. So that's going to be the case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 240. So hitting this Zamazenta for 240, which is more than enough for the knockout, 10 more than actually I needed. And I managed to draw Korrina's Focus and Octillery, which is good. Which is good because right now the only thing that I basically need in case if he knocks my Malamar is another Malamar plus energy card, and so far things looking good. I managed to pull a knockout. I only need to have return knockout against his either way a Zamazenta or a Zacian. He decided rather to attach his energy on a Zamazenta. It's pretty much the same because bench Zacian also have 240 HP left. Okay, so let's first go with Korrina's Focus and see what we can get. Tower of Waters, Remoraid, Boss's Orders, Korrina's Focus. Okay, let's go with one Make Do first, shall we? So there is a Malamar. And right now I need to pick myself a Spiral Energy so I can power up that Malamar, but additionally I also need to set another Inkay in play. Right now I have enough for knockout. But I also need Inkay and one more Rapid Strike Pokemon. Oh, good. Rescue Carrier. What a nice save for me here. So at the end, it looks like I'm gonna have more than enough for the knockout. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 240. And that's enough for another knockout. Luckily, I managed to get enough cards for the knockout. And I'm going down to 2 prize cards. And my opponent also have 2 prize cards, which basically means that he can heal 30 more damage from Crystal Cave, meaning that I will need 7 Rapid Strike cards in my hand, as well as Malamar plus energy in order to win the game, as long as he managed to knock my active Malamar out. If not, then unfortunately for him, game is over, because I have Korrina's Focus, Level Ball plus Scoop Up Net, so I think I'm gonna have more than enough resources to knock his Zacian out. So let's just be patient and see if he can get Energy Metal Saucer, or maybe potentially Turbo Patch Energy Saucer. Ooh, if he was only able to put Rusted Shield on the Zamazenta, probably he would win the game, and he ended up using this Zacian for Intrepid Sword, meaning that I'm gonna need to just... Oh, I didn't play Korrina's Focus. Let's go with Korrina's Focus right now. So how many cards we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we need to discard this Bruno additionally. And that's more than enough for the knockout with this Rapid Strike Malamar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 cards being shuffled back into my deck from hand, meaning that I can hit for 320 damage and knocks out my opponent's Zacian for the game. And overall, when you draw the line, the final conclusion about the deck is that deck is actually pretty decent for the standard format, and some couple trades managed to pass as well. So yeah, the deck by itself looks, you know, pretty consistent, as long as you don't have a bad luck to brick without a draw supporter at the opening game. But overall, once you manage to set up, the only thing you're gonna need will be just a 1 Malamar and 1 Inkay on the bench, so you can simply just go from one to other when you're knocked out, and then you can pretty much get as many Rapid Strike cards in your hand with those Cinccinos and the Brunos and Korrina's Focuses, maybe even with the Lucky Egg, and simply one-hit knockout whatever your opponent puts in front of you. Overall, a pretty interesting deck, also cheap to build, probably not going to cost you more than $20, which is really great. And it can also be very good for the current meta, because the meta is focused around Urshifu and heavy Wii Pokemons. Urshifu is pretty much tech in many decks, and you can target it for the weakness with the Malamar. Obviously, if opponent is smart enough, probably it will just try to avoid somehow Rapid Strike, because they cannot one-hit knock on Malamar as long as they're in the active position, which can be devastating for them, because then you can just simply one-hit knock them out with 5 or 4 cards, 5 cards 5 Rapid Strike cards from your hand. So anyways, guys, thank you a lot for your time. Thanks for watching this video. If you already didn't, please consider subscribing to the channel for more videos. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and till the next time, have a nice day, and we'll see you next time.